home, I'm about 50% American, 25% Indian, and 25% Mexican.
The way you're living, the culture at home. So you'll be able to talk about things that are Indian you do in your home. That's really cool. Very nice. Anybody else? Girls? Let's go, Julia first.
I am half Japanese and half American, but at home I'm about 60% American and 40% Japanese.
Good for you.
I'm 40% Polish, 20% Swedish, 20% Russian, 10% English, and 10% French. And my culture is mostly, like, at my house we mostly only do American things, and it's, like, it's also kind of French because my last name is French. Well, it's not my last name, but that's where it comes from.
Lyric, for your life at home, the question is, are you only American really culturally? And that's something to talk about with Mom and Dad, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And so your project is, what is it that I do that's American? And that's your entire project is, what do you eat, what do you wear, what do you listen to? All those 10 things behind me on the whiteboard, those all apply to you. That's your project.
Culture at home, I'm 90% American, but inheritance, a lot of them I don't know the exact percentage. But I'm 20% Swedish, not Swedish, 20% Swiss, 25% Swiss, 25% Spanish, and then I'm also Russian, I'm a lot of other things
Well, I'm 50% Japanese, and I'm technically 25% Cuban, and I don't know the percentages, but my grandma is 2/3 or 3/4, I'm not sure, German, and 1/4 or 1/3 Swedish. No, not Swedish, but
Tell me about the
Swiss.
culture you live at home, your
But
family culture. What do you think?
In my culture at home, well, but actually, in inheritance, I could say that I'm 50% American because my grandpa and grandma were both American citizens when my mom was born, so technically she could be American, but I'm not sure if I should say if I'm American or.
I think that's a family chat. I think you're talking with Mom and Dad.
I was talking to my mom, and she said, whatever.
What's the culture you live, though, from day to day?
The culture that I live is, I eat a lot of Japanese food, and I do kendo, which is a Japanese martial art, and I do some other things.
And you speak also some Japanese, right?
Not really, but, and.
So you're saying you're mostly American, and there's also
No,
some Japanese there.
I pretty much eat all Japanese food, like pretty much always, other than breakfast. And
So there's a mixture of American and Japanese.
I'm Roman Catholic, and I guess I would be like 50 to 45% Japanese and 50 to 55% American.
Great. Now talk to Mom and Dad about that. Just check it out with them and see
Yeah,
what
I
they
was
think.
talking to my mom on the way back home
Cool.
yesterday.
Didi, what do you think?
I'm 50%
Mexican, 50% American, and at home I'm 50% a Mexican and 50% American.
Interesting. So the things you do, the things you eat, the things you listen to, the dress, all of it, you think it's half and half. Do you go back to Mexico to visit? Do you have family there that you go to see?
Not really.
Are you fluent Spanish?
Yes.
Yes. Cool.
I'm 40% American. Inheritance, I am 100% Mexican.
But the things you do at home, it's mostly Mexican, but you have a very strong, or mostly American, but you have a very strong Mexican part too. Yeah. Great. Fatima?
I am 30% Algerian, 30% Sudanese, and 30% American, and my inheritance is 40% Sudanese and 40% and 40% and Algerian and 20% American.
Very nice. The culture you live at home, though, is the culture you actually live with your parents is part American, part Algerian, part Sudanese. Cool.
My inheritance is that I'm a quarter American, a quarter Irish, an eighth Scottish, an eighth Welsh, an eighth Dutch, and an eighth German. And at home, I'm more half American, a quarter Irish, and a quarter Scottish.
Cool. Ufu? What do you think?
Well, I'm not really sure, but I'm 50% American and like 75% from Sudan. Well, I don't really know.
Where's your mom from?
My mom's from Sudan.
Your dad?
My dad's from Sudan.
So you're 100% Sudanese from your inheritance. But the culture you live at home, there's a lot of American there. There's a lot of Sudanese there. And the question is there more American culture or more Sudanese or about the same?
It's mostly the same.
So that would be 50%, 50%. Yeah. And so your whole project is about those numbers. Julian?
I'm 50% American, 20% Mexican, 10% 10% Japanese, and the rest of it, and 5% Cherokee, and the rest of it I do not know if I'm Scottish. But the mostly thing that we do in my family, what we do at my house, is basically almost actually 100% American.
Yeah.